Hi there, this is Tammy. Welcome back to my channel. This is Tammy's Crafty Life. It's called Tammy's Crafty Life because I do all different kinds of crafts. This is a Flosstube video, so this video will be all about cross stitch. This is my Flosstube number 4, and I'm looking at the mess above my head. I need to clean that up for the next video. So if you're new to my channel, I'm glad you're here and I hope you'll come back. And if you are returning, then welcome back. I'm really glad you're here. I really enjoy making all these videos, and the cross stitch ones right now I think are the most fun for me. I'm kind of struggling with the rest of my crafts, but cross stitch has kept me crafting since I rediscovered it. So let's get started. This video I have several FFOs, or fully finished projects, and I have some whips, and I didn't write down. I'll see if I talk about plans, and always give hauls and giveaways at the end. So thanks for coming. I'm glad you're here. I think I already said that, but I'm going to say it again. So fully finished objects. I think the last time I showed you that I was working on these are called something Posies by Frony Ritter Designs, and I did 2 purples and 1 pink. So I finished all 3 of those. This one is mine, and I haven't decided how I'm going to finish it. The other 2 I put in teacups. So let me show you what I did. I finished these just this morning. This is a purple one, and I'm hoping the light, I don't know what to do to make the light better, but this teacup is really cool. I got this teacup at what's it called? Goodwill. Years ago, I was making candles, soy candles, and looking for fun things to put them in, so I bought this to put a soy candle in. I didn't realize till today when I went to put this together, this was never meant to be drank out of. It was put together on a little stand, and somebody got it with flowers in it. I bought it because it was butterflies and purple, which those are 2 things I love. And then here is how I finished the top. I put some lace around that has gold. This cup has gold along the rim, and I put some lace around it, and so I can shadow that so you can see how how the cross stitch looks. This was a lot of fun to stitch, and you can change the colors to make any color of posy. And then let me show you that one is for a friend. She's a crafting friend who used to live in my area, and she moved away, so I'm going to send her a friend package, some happy mail. That's one of the things I'm sending her. I have also created a fun scissors fob for her, and I think there's some other stuff. I have a list somewhere. Anyway, so then let me show you the pink one. This one is for my sister. She loves pink. And here is the teacup. So I noticed on my last video I didn't use my ring light, and the picture was really grainy. So I'm using it now, but it's too bright. But I cannot find, it has a little remote control that was right here in my drawer, and it's gone. I hate it when I can't find things. Like, I put things in a particular spot. That thing's been in my way in this drawer for weeks. And then when I want to use it, it's not there. So, same thing with the microphone. I'm hoping the microphone helps too. Anyway, this is a teacup. I think I got this teacup also at Goodwill. It's a real teacup. It is from Hitkari pottery. It's bone china, made in India. It had a candle in it at one time too. And then here is the pink posy. Isn't that pretty? It turned out really nice. I'm hoping she likes it. It's not perfectly centered, and it was too late for me to move it because the glue had already stuck. I'm hoping she won't care about that. They're not perfect. Trying to gather those up and get them into the teacup and glued. It was a huge pain. I don't know if I'll do that again. When I started this project, the reason I did 2 purple is I thought I had 2 purple teacups and I was going to make one for myself. And I discovered I don't have 2 purple teacups. I have some other colors, but so I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this one. We'll see. It is for me, so we'll see. Unless I decide to put it together and do it for something else. My other fully finished objects are, I had 2 cross-stitch projects. One was this meow right here that I changed the colors to purple. This is Leisure Arts Cats Galore. This has a bunch of cat pictures in it. It is a really cool book. And then the other one was Lori Holt's Eat Sleep Stitch that I did for cross stitch camp for the month of June. So let me show you the Eat Sleep Stitch because that's on top. What I did with these is I made project bags out of them. This fabric for the Eat Sleep Stitch, this fabric came from the Fat Quarter Shop and I think it's absolutely beautiful. So this is the finished project. I love this. I love butterflies, so love that. And then the back, these 2, this is purple. It's looking kind of blue on the video, but it's deep, deep purple. So this was one of them. I added just a little bit of lace at the top. This was a different fabric that I had gotten at Joann's that you'll see on the other bag I'm going to show you. And then they have zippers. I also am going to make some of these that have vinyl fronts so you can see in them. And I just haven't gotten to those yet because I need more project bags. I have bought several off of Etsy and they are very well made, and they're a little bit more money than I want to spend, although I know they're worth it because sewing, it takes time and you have to be good at it. I'm not a particularly good seamstress, so my bags are not perfect, but they work for me. They don't have to be perfect for me. So this one is the Meow. This is the first bag that I made, and I'm experimenting with what I use for stabilization, and this one is really stiff, so I don't think I'll use this again for this like I did in this one, but it's fine, it works. So this is, I wonder if I go like this, because my light's being funky. Oh, well, not really. Okay, this is my kitty, my Meow. And this is that same fabric I have just a little bit of on the first bag. And I added this lace. I added the lace on this one first. This is the first one I made because I didn't really think this through, and my whole front was purple. I didn't have anything contrasting to go up here. So I wanted to have a little bit of well, it's not really contrast, but a little bit of break between this and this. So I added this lace on here. So that is that. And then this fabric is so much fun. It's purple and it's daisies with a purple background. I love it. And then to go along with this one, those out of my way, I made a smaller one. And I got the, I watched a tutorial to make these. I had bought a pattern from byannie.com, and she does her binding as a separate piece, and I watched the video like 3 times, and I was like, wow, it's the putting it together at the bottom, you know, where you have to seam it. And then I watched this other video, and I cannot remember her name, but I'll link her down below because it's a very good tutorial that where she shows how to make these. These 2 are both her dimensions, and this one is a little smaller, a little shorter than I would like. So when I made the second one, the Eat Sleep Stitch, I made it taller. This one is exactly her dimensions, and this is great for the projects that the pattern is a half size. It's a folded piece of paper, as well as a bunch of other things. So those are my fully finished objects that I've done since my last video. It's been 3 weeks since my last video. I was going to do one last weekend, and I hadn't finished those teacups, and I really wanted to have those done, and I also hadn't done the project bags yet. So I was wanting to have all that done. And then the week got away from me, so that's the way it goes sometimes. So now let me show you what I've been working on, my works in progress, or my whips. You may remember that, I think last video, or the one before, I showed this picture. This is from Candamar Designs, and this is from way back when I used to sell Creative Circle. I said that I thought, so I had the these two kitties. These two kitties are done, and these two kitties were done, and I was working on the kitty in the middle. And I thought that I had an error somewhere in here. Like, why did I put it aside? So I figured out why I put it aside, and it was a huge mess. When I first started this picture, I did these little things across the bottom first. And I count everything like 4 times, so I don't know how I did it, but I missed one. So this was too short. And so I had started on the right, and then for some reason, I do not know why, I jumped over. I started on the left. I jumped over to the right. I can't remember why I did that. That was like 30 years ago or more. So the next time I picked it up, I went to work on that kitty in the middle, and it didn't work. And I was looking, and this ribbon right here, this blue ribbon, and this one, there's a space between them. And on my project, they were lined up with each other. And I'm like, oh, what's going on here? So I figured out I was short like 10 rows, 10? However many rows one of these little spaces is. That's what I was short. So if I wanted to keep going, I had options. My first option was I was going to just chuck it and start over. But I didn't think I had enough floss to do that. And it was a kit. It came with the floss. So I went on the internet and found a conversion chart from the Candamar flosses to DMC. And I figured all that out, and I was like, I'm just going to go buy new floss. And then I thought, well, I could just rip it out and fix it, but I still might run out of floss because I have to rip out 2 whole kitties and a bunch of ribbon. And then I thought, well, I just figured out the colors. So if I do run out of floss, I'm okay. So I decided to just rip it out. And here's where it is today. This is the center. You can kind of see shadows where I ripped stuff out here. But from here over, I ripped out all the stuff that was stitched. It was these 2 kitties, everything on there, plus the ribbon with that kitty. So I ripped all that out, and then I started what I should have done in the first place. I started stitching this kitty in the middle, and I figured out, I think, why I didn't do him next. He's blended, so it's 1 thread each of 2 different colors. And for some reason, I skipped that. I didn't want to do that at that time. So I'm back to working on it. I spent a whole day. We had a really... we had record high temperatures several weeks ago. We were the highest in the United States, I think, where we had 115 over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It was awful. I sat in my house in the dark with no air conditioning with a fan and spent a whole day that Saturday ripping this stuff out, and then a little bit on Sunday morning. And then I started stitching it again, and this is all I've gotten so far. But at least I'm back to this. I'm loving these kitties. I want to see them finished. And they are in a very pretty kitty project bag that came from Lake Wind Studio on, can't show you that, the pattern is there. Anyway, on Etsy. So it's a really pretty bag. I was looking for just a kitty bag, and I like things that are colorful. So I got the best of both worlds with that. So that is one of my whips. Another one is, this is a start and a whip since my last video. I had shown you this book before, Summer in the Village by Stony Creek. There's a set of 4. So far I only have this one book. It's a really fun picture. I think I really like it. I want to check out the spring. Spring in the Village looks really colorful. I like bright colors. I think eventually I might do all 4 of them just because they're so pretty. So I'm stitching this on 18 count Aida that is probably called ivory, I would say. It's a cream color, but I think they call it ivory. And this is how far I've gotten. This is the house that says bed and breakfast is what it's going to say right here in this white space. This is a lot of fun to stitch. I'm really enjoying it. And I started out in a hoop, and the hoop made rings on my fabric. And my experience in the past has been those rings are a little bit just caused by the hoop and a little bit caused by the natural oils in your skin, and it's hard to get out. So I didn't put it in a hoop again, but this fabric is stiff enough that I've just rolled it up on each end, and then I put, what are these called? These are little quilting clips, wonder clips, is that what they're called? I put those on the top and bottom, and then I'm just stitching in hand. I don't do the sewing method, but this fabric is stiff enough that I can roll it up as tightly, as small as I need to get the part that I'm at. So I'm really, really loving that. It has a lot of colors. Let's see. Another thing I'm working on is for, I've told you before about Cross Stitch Camp. This is my project for July. This is by Cottage Needleworks, and I think somewhere I called this Little House Needleworks, but it's Cottage Needleworks. And they have spring, summer, autumn or fall and winter. And I'm doing summer because I love the colors. So this is it. I'm doing it on a light blue fabric. It's 28 count even weave from Hobby Lobby. And this I had in a Q-snap, but I really don't like when it comes time to move your project and where you have to cover the stitches. I know some people use felt and different things. I don't have any felt. I need to get some. So this is kind of a limp fabric, so it's harder to stitch in hand, but I am doing it anyway. I did as much as I could in the Q-snap, and when it didn't fit anymore, I took it out. So this is how far I've gotten with this one. Let me put something behind it. And again, I rolled it up and I used the wonder clips. So this is almost halfway done. In between these red checks is white. And as soon as I get that white in there, then I'm halfway done. And I have until the last day of July to finish this for the challenge, the Cross Stitch Camp Challenge. And this also is a lot of fun to stitch. This fabric is so easy to stitch on. Many years ago, I did a wedding sampler for somebody that I was doing linen and stitching over 2 threads. And what I remember about it was that I could see through it and I had a hard time stitching on it. This is perfect. It's very light blue. It's really pretty and very easy to stitch on. I would like to find it in 3 other colors to do the other 3 of these. I've got all 4 patterns, so I'd like to make all 4. But the challenge for July was to stitch a designer you haven't stitched before, and this is my first Cottage Needleworks picture. And I really like their stuff. I think somewhere I called them Little House Needleworks because I have some of theirs too that I haven't stitched yet that look similar. The packaging is similar. And my last current whip, I have a whole, that bin at the bottom, right, black one right there and one on the bottom, are full of either works in progress or kitted items, kitted projects that I'm not currently working on. So I don't want to call them a whip because I'm not currently working on them. Then I've been watching Kimberly on Fat Quarter Shop, been watching her videos, and she's doing Jolly July. I don't really do holiday stuff because I don't have any place to put it. I think I've said that before. But she's been working on Farmhouse Christmas by Little House Needleworks. And it's really cool. There are 9 patterns. This is one of them. And she's stitching all 9 on one piece of fabric. And I just love the way that it looks. So I don't like the colors. It's red. And the red what's it called? They called the red cherry cobbler, but when I actually looked at the thread in the store, it was a really orangey red, and I did not like it. So I changed two things about this. And Little House Needleworks, on their website, they have a pattern that is the border for stitching all 9 together. So when you're stitching these all 9 together, I think you don't do this border at all. You do a white border, I think, maybe this white border. But then this border is enlarged to go around all 9 of them. So I start usually in the middle of my projects, and this one is number 5, which puts it right in the middle. And it also is a fun one. It's a quilt block. So I changed the fabric. The model was stitched on 30 count Portobello by Studio Line, formerly Northern Cross Natural Linen. And I'm stitching it on 16 count Peaceful Purple, and I got this either from Stony Creek or 123 Stitch. I do not remember. This is how far I am. So the fabric is purple, and I changed the red to purple. So my purple is, what's it called? Pickled Beets. These are my threads. And then I got this isn't the red they had in it. This is, because there's a cardinal on one of them, so he needed to be a red color. This one's called Bean Cherry. So I got this to do the bird. But I think that's the only color that I changed, was I changed that red to a purple. And this is a huge piece of fabric. Again, the whole Q-snap thing. So I need to get some felt, because this is kind of hard. It's stiff, so it's easy to stitch on, but I have it all folded up, which makes it all get in my way. And this is how far I am on this one. Oh, something behind it. I got all the white done on the quilt block. Part of the black, part of the purple, and part of the brown. The brown is called Pebble Beach. These are Classic Colorworks overdyed. Is that what they're called? Overdyed? They have variation in their color. So these are the 4 projects that I'm currently working on. I love all 4 of them, so it's kind of hard. Like each day, what do I want to work on? One day I worked on the Farmhouse Christmas and Summer in the Village in the same day. One day I did Summer in the Village and the Cross Stitch Camp project in the same day. So yeah, that's what I'm working on now. For plans, it's hard for me to make plans for my stitching. Like I said, I have a whole bunch of things I could be working on, so it depends. I have to finish the summer by whatever it's called, Country Cottage Needleworks. I have to finish that by the end of the month. The others don't have a deadline. So it depends on what I pull out next. I also have that project by that's in the Emma Congdon book. That's the 4 seasons. And I got that started, and it's on 22 count fabric, and I decided I'm changing my fabric. So I bought the fabric, and I'm starting over on that one. Other plans I have is, I didn't get it out. I have a Stony Creek book that has African scenes in it, elephants and zebras and giraffes, and I don't remember what else, but there's an elephant picture that I'm going to start, and I went through all my fabrics the other day. I was getting ready to start it because I really want to work on it. I didn't have a fabric I liked. So today in my mail, fabric is coming from Fat Quarter Shop, and it's a gray. I'm anxious to see it in person. It's hard to tell online, but so that's coming today, so I'll be starting that hopefully this weekend. Other than that, I don't really make plans for my stitching because it's what I feel like at the time. I want to work on my stablemates. I want to finish my little birdhouses. I work full-time, so there's not enough time to do all the ones I want to do. So let me go to hauls. I was fortunate to go, well, I don't know if I was fortunate. I spent a ton of money to my local needlework shop last week. They are an hour away, and it's Acorns and Threads in Portland, Oregon. And is that where I bought this? See, I may have already showed you this book, but one thing I bought from them is I bought another of the Frony Ritter. This one's called Peach Posies. And the kit, this time I got the kit. Well, it's not a kit because there's no floss and fabric. But it's got a little tin. It's the finishing kit if you want to do it that way. What else did I buy there? I spent a lot of money. I don't remember what all it was. I got the Needleworks stand. That's Lori Holt, I think. They just happened to have it. Wow. I spent a lot of money and I can't remember. I bought some fabric. I think I bought some fabric, but I don't remember what kind. I didn't pull that out. That wasn't very well thought out. Anyway, moving on. I don't remember if I've showed you this book before or not. I'm pretty sure I got this book the last time I went there, last month, to the local needle workshop. This is Debbie's Designs Royal Garden. And this is not cross stitch. It's decorative stitching, but it is not cross stitch. Isn't it beautiful? And it's a book. To stitch this is a book. So I'll start that someday. I love decorative stitching. It's got some really fun stitches in it. I just got an order from the Fat Quarter Shop where the two things I got were this pattern by Tiny Modernist, because I think it's fun. I won't stitch it in those colors because I do not like red. I'll change the red, change the color palette. This is called Sewing Room Bell Pull. They have it finished on a plaque, or you can finish it as a bell pull. And then I have, where did you go? I have the Stitchy Stars, Lori Holt Stitchy Stars pattern that I want to stitch. I'm going to do this on blue fabric, and I might use that same light blue fabric that I'm doing my cross stitch camp thing on. I'm not really into the earth colored fabrics, but they just got in these floss keepers and I thought it was fun to go with it. And the way this is made, they have a label on the back so you can write on them and then you can erase it, so your thread colors. And when I bought this pattern, I also bought the thread pack that goes with it. And these are pretty colors. It's supposed to be red, white, and blue, so I won't change the red on that. That's the only time I really care about red. And I also don't remember if I've shown you this. This was back ordered on an order from either 123 Stitch or Stony Creek. I can't remember. This is a Carolyn Manning design, and I ordered it because it's purple. It's beautiful, and it looks like, oh, let me see what the stitch count is. Where does it say? It opens right up into the pattern. Oh, it's only 81 by 81. Really? It looks like it would be a lot more than that. Oh, if you do it as a small. What? 189 by 189. Okay, that's better. So this is it. I don't know how well the purple colors are going to show. It's called Amethyst. It is very, very pretty, and I am anxious to start that too. And it is a full coverage, so it won't matter what the fabric is. And they don't say, oh, they used, it says Ada 14 mixed berry hand dyed Jobelan. Ada. Didn't know there was such a thing. But I'm not sure why it matters because it's full coverage. So we'll see. Or maybe, I wonder if they leave some of it blank so the fabric shows through. It doesn't look like it. It looks like it's full. Anyway, I think it's beautiful. So we'll see. One of these days I'll get brave and start that. I think that is it for my haul. Can't wait to get my package today because I want to start on my elephants. Although the pattern for the elephants is little tiny, tiny, tiny squares in the book. I tried to blow them up I was going to blow them up on my printer copier, and it doesn't have that option. So I'm not sure. So seeing, and it's a lot of color changes. A few stitches here, a few stitches there of each color. So we'll see how that goes. So that's all the stuff that I have. It's giveaway time, and what am I doing here? I'm looking for people from my first 2 videos. In my first video, I was giving away this cat, tiger, cross stitch, and this magazine, and I drew a name. It was Carolyn Boudreau. I have not heard from Carolyn, so if I don't hear from her by my next video, my next floss tube, then I will draw a different name. And then I also had this stitching sampler. If you remember, I was like, oh, why did I buy that? And the name I drew was Melody Chinokas. I don't know if that's how you say her name. So Melody, I'm holding this for you. I'll only hold it for a little while longer, and then I will draw again for that. So last video, I had 3 items that I was giving away. One is Patchwork. I think it says Patchwork of Cats by Jardin Privé. And Fresh Cut by It's So Emma. Let me take this out and show it to you. This is Fresh Cut. I think it's a pretty pattern. If I ever do stitch it, I'll be changing the colors. Not a fan of those colors. And where did they go? Oh, and then I was giving away some floss drops that I created. So I didn't have very many comments on that video, and no one commented that they wanted Fresh Cut. For the Jardin, however you say it, Privé Patchwork of Cats, the name that I drew was Danielle McMickle. Sorry, Danielle McMickle. And then for the floss drops, the name that I drew was Crafty Sue 519. This is Suzanne, my friend Suzanne. Suzanne, I already have your address, so I will get these in the mail for you. Danielle, I will need your address, so I'll put my email address down below. Please send me an email with your mailing address, and I'll get this out to you right away. And my giveaways for today, I'm going to try again with Fresh Cut. It's a really fun pattern. Like I said, I just would change the colors. So if you would like to win this, put the word fresh in the comments below. And I don't need to put that back in there. The other thing I'm going to give away is this Frony Ritter Designs Peach Posies. It's the pattern and the finishing kit. So I'm going to give that away. And if you would like to win that, use the word peach in your comment below. So I think that's it for today. It's funny that I went shopping and bought a whole bunch of stuff. I can't remember what it was. There was enough time in between this video and my last one that I really don't remember what I've gotten in the mail since then. I should keep like a record somewhere, or put stuff in a special spot. I don't know, because I'm horrible at remembering that. Anyway, that's it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you'll come back again. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And what you'll see from me is not just Flosstube videos. I do paper crafting videos, so I do several of those every month. You don't have to watch those if you just want to see cross stitch. I will title all of my cross stitch videos as Flosstube, so you'll know that's what they are, and I don't put cross stitch usually in the other videos, although I did use the project bags for my Purple Passion collab video that I did earlier this week. So thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.